Welcome to my non-spoiler discussion of Top Gun Maverick. An awesome movie. And this week I am joined by a very special guest who hasn't been with me since the first video that I did. Welcome, Francesca.
Whoop, whoop.
We're going to hop into a quick 5 or so minute discussion without spoilers about our impressions of the film, and then we'll make a separate video about all the spoilerific details of the film. So, I think our impressions of the film can really be summed up by how many times each of us cried in the film. What do you reckon? So have a guess. Just pause the video in a moment and have a guess. First of all, who cried, and also how many times each person cried. Pause the video. I'll just wait for a moment. Okay. What was your guess? Because I think most of you will be surprised to know that I was the one who cried. What?
Yeah, shocking. No one would have guessed that.
I cried about... I welled up about 3 times in the film, and I full-on cried probably twice.
Oh, was it a full-on cry?
Yeah, full-on cry. And I think the big moment was when they were on the aircraft carrier, sort of heading off for their final mission, and they were saying, what could have possibly been their final goodbyes? And I was just like, all the emotion from the film. It was just overwhelming.
I literally, because I thought it was hilarious, so I was literally laughing and turned to Alex to laugh with me and noticed he was crying. So
my glasses had all fogged up.
I think this sort of epitomizes or sums up our difference of opinions when it comes to this movie. I thought it was a comedy, and Alex found it incredibly touching.
Yeah, and I think the ferocity of my emotional reaction really is summed up by how many men worked on the project versus how many women, because it was really lopsided in the men's favour.
I just think. I don't know. I think they wasted Jennifer Connelly. I think she is an amazing actor, and if you're going to have her in something, you probably need to have a better part for her, because it seemed like she was just shoehorned in. For what purpose, I don't know, because I think probably the time that was allotted to her storyline, which admittedly wasn't very much, because you sort of were still left there scratching your head as to why she was there, but could have been better used to develop some of the relationships between the other characters, and I think then it would have maybe elicited even just a bit of welling up in my eyes. But
right, she's a robot, everyone.
But yeah, as it was sort of like, okay, I get that these guys are supposed to have a relationship and be close, and I'm supposed to feel emotional, but you were sort of going, like, why I haven't been brought into this at all.
It was economic storytelling. You didn't need much to
Was it economic, though? Because there were also scenes...
Well, just with the Jennifer Connelly thing, I think the scenes between her and Tom Cruise were nice, but that was purely down to how good each actor is. And you've got an Academy Award winning actor there in Jennifer Connelly, and that sort of baseline of just being it was not nice to have her isn't really acceptable, really.
No, you're just scratching your head. Yeah. And some of the lines that she said to Tom Cruise, I'm like, oh my God, it's so written from a male wishing that a woman would say that to him, because
if only.
There were a couple of times where she's like, don't look at me like that. I was like, what? I don't, like, as if he's Tom Cruise, admittedly, he does have a gorgeous face, but like, just a man looking at you turns her on, when they have a history as well, and not a history where he comes off very well in that, by the sounds of it. So
I don't think just a look from me has ever made you feel like that. So
no.
I guess I'll never be Tom Cruise.
No.
All right, so I think we're rambling on a little bit. So I think overall, it was a really good legacy sequel. I'd only seen Top Gun once, and not for probably 10 to 15 years. And still, they service... Well, they make references back to the first film really well, really clearly. And I think it was overall really well done. And it was an adrenaline rushed movie, because even you like the Like
Yeah.
the plane sequences.
Well, I said even before that we went there that it was probably going to encourage me to sign up to the Air Force, which
Navy.
Alex input, but we can't. Being in Australia / New Zealand, it's impossible. There's no planes in the Navy in either of our countries, so that's out. And yes, I did. I loved it. I loved go.
Pew, 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 pew.
And yeah, it just made me feel jealous that I wasn't an actor and I couldn't pretend I was a fighter pilot as well.
I wonder how much actual time they spent in a cockpit up in the air. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it was great. I enjoyed that. It was heaps of fun. So I mean, lighthearted.
Yeah,
about what?
Well, it was
about attacking someone
and potentially starting World War 3 or 4 at this stage.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah. All right. So that is our general impressions of the film, and we're going to end the video now and come back very soon with our spoilerific review of the film.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging around. Bye.